Welcome to Pigeon River Farm, doing farming right. I'm Robert Brown, the owner of Pigeon River Farm. Thank you for viewing. Good evening. In tonight's episode, we're going to talk about the nutrient-rich fruits that we grow in our high tunnel. We raise raspberries. We have been since 2012 in our high tunnel, and we try to achieve the highest nutrient level that is possible. We do this in a kind of a unique way. First, within a high tunnel environment, you have the luxury of having an extremely long growing season, considering how far north we are. They usually figure a high tunnel gives you about equivalent to 500 miles latitude farther south, so it extends our growing period significantly. So we're usually about 30 days ahead in the spring, so we can start about 30 days earlier, and we're up to about 2.5 months into fall. So between the two we get an extremely long growing period. So that allows a long fruiting time. So we end up with usually the raspberries start somewhere early July, sometime late June, and we've enjoyed fresh raspberries all the way up to Thanksgiving. Now that's almost a miracle. We've had snow on the ground and still have raspberries that we're able to pick. Some of our bumper years have allowed us to get as much as 220 quarts of raspberries in a single year, and that has actually been phenomenal. That has allowed us to have adequate to sell, adequate for ourselves. But what I really want to talk about is our nutrient rich. How do we achieve that? During the winter time, we keep the poultry in the high tunnel, and by doing that, we're actually really beneficial in that we can take advantage of all the nutrients that the birds have. And they go ahead and not only in just general soil, but where we plant the raspberries, they go in there, they actually scratch and manure in there, and what that has done for us has really been absolutely phenomenal. So figure all of the feed that they take in, all the nutrients that's in the soil, all in the feed, is deposited in the soil there in the close proximity of the raspberries. Additionally, I have a gasification boiler. We'll talk in a different episode about that, but we have a gasification boiler, and so we produce a fair amount of ash out of the gasification boiler when it burns wood. We burn typically 4 to 5 cords of wood per year to heat our facility here, and that ash is deposited in the high tunnels to put in yet another nutrient, highly enriched nutrient, onto the raspberries. So we spread it throughout the high tunnel, but we specifically look at the raspberries as trying to take advantage of all these nutrients. And if you've ever tasted the raspberries, there is just no other taste. It doesn't taste like your store-bought ones, trust me. What's interesting is when we get later into the year, our fall raspberries, once it's froze out, everything outside would be gone in our area around September. Right about then is when our raspberries start to really develop a intense sweet taste because they're growing very slow, but they're also becoming extremely nutrient rich. And that nutrient rich is something that we know at that point that plant is growing slow, it's uptaking all the minerals. And the minerals that it's uptaking is allowing the plants to transfer them nutrients to the berry, and in turn making it a delightful food. So if you want to try this, you could do it many different ways, but you have to do the season extension. That's really the key to the thing. The short daytime, so the amount of light that's available, changes the plant's dynamic and allows higher nutrient value per berry. So it's been something kind of neat for us. We've enjoyed it, and it's just part of our operation here. So the chickens work symbiotically. Our heating system, again, works symbiotically with producing a product. So we have the holistic approach to farming has worked very well for us.